You know that he cares for you. You know the way you've connected to him. You know there's a real bond there, almost on a spiritual, energetic level, and you know he might even love you, yet he won't commit. He continues to not choose you, and you get stuck in this cycle of feeling terrible about yourself, hoping he will change, and then having him pull back. In this video, I want to talk about why this happens, because a lot of my clients, when they first come to me, are experiencing this, and how to break this pattern so that you can go on to have a relationship where you do feel chosen and where you are able to have that love that you want and deserve. Welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. It's great to have you. Let's dive straight in. Connection is not relationships. Connection is not forming a shared teamwork bond. We need to talk about emotional availability because it's comprised of three important things. Is a man free? Is a man willing? And is a man able? Is he free, willing, and able to be with you along with the connection that you guys share? Let's talk about each one. Is the guy free? Even when there's a connection, you must ask yourself, okay, is this man free to be with me? Is it clear that he has no other women, no other connections, no other obvious energetic blocks that are stopping him coming towards me? If he's separated, if he is recently divorced even, if he has a partner or arrangement or girlfriend or any other previous connection that is around, he's simply not free to be with you. He can understand you very well. In fact, he may understand you. You may perceive, or it may even be the truth, that he understands you better than anyone you've ever met. But if he is not free, he will never be truly yours. He will never commit to you. And if he has really sparked something special in you, if he's made you feel understood like no one before him ever has, then you've really got to go inside and look at the part of yourself that you've disowned that he has awoken. Because until you do, and until you learn how to access that for yourself, this man who isn't free to be with you is always going to feel addictive to you, because it's like he's accessed a part of you that you don't even know how to access. Willing. Is a man willing? This means, is he actually into you enough? It's all well and good for a man to be emotionally available and for a man to say he wants a relationship, but does he want one with you? The truth is, sometimes he's just not into you, or just not into you enough. A man can speak volumes about how he wants a relationship and perhaps even how he wants one with you. But at the end of the day, you've got to believe a man's actions before you believe his words. There is a possibility in any of these cases where the connection is there, he may just not feel the connection enough. And the hard part, I think, is not taking that personally, because it can feel so much like a previous relationship, including with our parents, where we just say, oh, I wasn't enough, I didn't do enough, the person didn't love me because I did something wrong. And unfortunately, if we keep choosing these people and trying to solve the relationship from the past with the relationship we have in the present, we then will be a complete mess, because we'll keep doing the same thing over and over again, finding the same people who don't love us quite enough or who aren't into us quite enough and re-traumatizing the same wound. There are people out there that will be into you without you having to work. You'll be able to just relax, let your natural feminine energy flow, and they will be into you without you having to question it. So don't keep chasing the ones who are not willing to move things forward, either because they say they don't want a relationship despite the great connection, or they say they do, but they're not following through on it. If a guy is going to be with you, even with a great connection, he needs to be free to be with you, and he needs to be willing and wanting to have a relationship, and particularly one with you. And then there's the most important aspect. Is he able? Free, willing, and able. It's the latter that I think gets lost in, when I speak with clients, this is the one that kind of gets forgotten. And I think because you as a woman will always put connection before purpose. If you're a feminine energy woman, you'll always put connection before purpose. And by that I mean, if you're feeling a little bit purposeless in your life, even if it's not ideal, your cup will still be filled and still feel very full if you have a great relationship and if you have a great love connection in your life. Men are not like that. For men, purpose will come before connection. Now, there's a couple of obvious reasons for this. The first is biological. If he is not able to provide using his purpose, what use is he to you? He gets you pregnant, then he doesn't have the resources to actually provide for you. So in this way, men will put fear above love. Fear will trump love because he knows that he will essentially kill you and his progeny if he is not ready to, quote unquote, mate with you yet. So there's an important evolutionary precedent to a man putting fear before love in terms of fear of commitment, because if he hasn't got his purpose yet, him being with you could actually significantly hurt you or kill you and his progeny. Not only that, on an emotional level, A woman will bring emotional dynamism to a relationship. A woman is you are naturally more fluctuating in your emotions than he is. So he needs to be stable for you. A good, solid, masculine man knows he needs to be a rock for a woman. His purpose and his passion will give him that rock. It'll give him something that isn't you, something that doesn't move, something that he can hold on to if you're moving around a lot, that gives him an internal sense of stability that he can then use and provide to you. So you see, it's very important for a man to have that internal stability and purpose and be free from particular fears, especially for young men, those around commitment, so that he can be with you. In a man's mind, fear, as in, is he able to commit? Does he see himself as good enough, established enough, ready enough, there enough in his life to be able to provide for you and to be able to be the man he needs to be for you? If the answer is no, he's not going to think like you, where love conquers all. He's going to think, nope, love is second or third priority here. It doesn't matter how I feel. She could be the best woman in the whole wide world, and I'm still not going to, as in not able to commit. He may want to, as in a part of him that feels very strongly might want to. But 9 times out of 10, that part is going to be trumped by the part that I just talked about. The part that says he has to be at a certain point, at a certain level, able to provide for you emotionally, physically, all those things before he commits to you. So I think this one gets a lot of women because as a woman, the tendency, as I say, is to be filled up entirely by love in terms of if you've got that, not having the other stuff, while it's not great, you're still going to feel pretty good and pretty whole. That's not how man's brain works. Love will not conquer all in his brain. So it doesn't matter how good the connection is. If a man's not in that position, he still won't commit. And this then can also bring up your stuff because you're sitting there going, I know the connection is so real. I know it's there. Why won't he love me? And there's this torment, this tortuous feeling of what you are doing wrong again, that he won't commit. It's nothing to do with that. He's just not able to commit because the emotional part of him that is teaching him how to be a man and how to show up, it's just not going to let him commit. It's going to play the trump card every time and keep him from committing to you. So those are the big 3 reasons that if you've got a lot of connection there and you're feeling a guy super loves you, he really does connect, but he's not committing, those are the 3 things to look for. Is he free, as in logistically actually free of other women's energy? Is he willing, as in is he into you and saying he wants a relationship? And is he able? The silentest, most important one, are there emotional blocks there that are simply trumping any feelings he has for you, even if they're 10 out of 10? Now, if you're attracting these guys over and over again, take a little look inwards too. Because as a human being, we don't do anything over and over again if we don't have a reason for it. You might think, well, no, Mark, this just hurts me. There's no good reason for it. I would stop you right there. There's always a good reason we do things on repeat. There's nothing we do that doesn't meet our needs in some way. Imagine applying for a job over and over again, maybe hundreds of times, and you just keep getting rejected. Okay, you don't keep doing that unless you think there's some sort of major upside to that job. There must be something really important about that job that you want that specific job. It's the same when we chase people and situations that continue to hurt us. Now, getting rejected for a job, it kind of hurts, but it's not like it could be soul destroying after hundreds of times. So you'd have to really want that type of job. There has to be something really driving you to get rejected hundreds of times for a job and to keep going after it. So if you're finding yourself chasing these types of men who are not free, willing, and able to commit to you despite their connection, you've got to look at what benefit that is giving you. What are you trying to get out or trying to prove by having these guys in your life over and over again? At the end of the day, you're likely just getting emotionally slapped in the face by them. I imagine it doesn't feel very good and it feels saddening, disheartening, devaluing to have them not commit despite the connection over and over again. And yet there's something you're often trying to prove by being in those situations. So see if you can figure out what that is, because if you can understand your internal drivers and whether or not you want to continue putting them in the same direction and getting them from the same place, or whether it might be an idea to start to source them internally so you can be free of your need for that type of situation and move towards a different type of situation in your love life. I hope that helps give some clarity about what happens when a man connects to you but is not committing. If you want more clarity, feel free to book a one-on-one session. You and I can talk about it. And I also have my no man, no fee guarantee, which is really, really cool that I'm doing now. If you don't get a guy, you don't pay. So if you want to book a call and learn more about that, you certainly can. Otherwise, hit the subscribe button with the little bell next to it. Give a video a like and share a comment with your thoughts on the video below. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.